Are your wrists silently ruining your putting? If you're missing short putts and can't figure out why, this could be the hidden flaw costing you countless shots every single round. You're on the 18th, you've got a little 6-footer here to beat your personal best. You're standing over it feeling a touch nervous, and just as you hit it, you feel a little jerk and it's lipped out again. If this sounds like you, a likely cause is being far too active in our wrists. You're missing short putts left, right and center, and we're going to dive into exactly why and how we can fix it. Before we get started, if this is the first lesson you've watched, please consider subscribing to the channel so you never miss a free lesson. And check out the description for free training and coaching to level up your game. So why do our wrists matter so much in putting? Well, it's quite simple. The angle of the club face in a putter is incredibly flat, typically 2 to 4 degrees. Now, because of this, if we have a slight change in the angle of the club shaft here, like so, it makes a massive difference to where the club face points at impact. And the ball will always start with the club faces pointing. So if you're the sort of player that uses the wrist a lot with their putting, this can cause tremendous issues in controlling the club face, which is where we'd like to see much more passive wrists. And the stroke here coming much more from the rock of our shoulders with very little actually going on in the wrist. The reason why? Quite simple, we don't need to create much power here. When we use our wrist, it acts as a lever, an ability to create excessive force, like cracking a whip. Now in putting, we don't need to do that. We want to take as much power out of it as we can and have stability. In order to do that, we need less moving parts. So if we can have the wrists very stable and we can putt by maintaining all of our angles here, it's going to be much, much easier to deliver this club face perfectly square every single time. So if we're hitting putts and we're getting this shape through impact in the left wrist, so this bend here, this can cause tremendous issues. So I want you to sense that we're going to hold this in a much straighter line between the lead arm and this left wrist, so it doesn't really break. Now this allows us to have that super stable club face. If you're struggling to get a sensation for this, I want you to grab a spare golf ball and we're going to place it here just between our left wrist and the top of the grip of the putter. Now if we can hit putts like this, it forces our wrist into the opposite position from what we struggle with. So our wrist is now actually flexed this way. So it really encourages us to actually take out the wrist. And your goal here is quite simply to keep the golf ball there, stuck between the wrist and the putter grip, and it's going to stabilize that wrist there. And it's going to make it very hard for you to use your wrists excessively on your putter. Give yourself a few putts here to practice this and just focus on maintaining stability with that ball between our wrist and the top of the grip of the putter. Make sure it holds in there and you feel as if you create your power in your stroke by rocking your shoulders. Now in addition to this, at setup, we don't want to see too much tension in our arms. If our arms get too in front of us and too tense, it can cause us to use our wrists and our arms too much. I want you to sense that our arms and our wrists are going to be very passive. In order to do that, we're going to allow for a bit of flex in our elbows. So I want you to think at setup here, we're going to start with our hands here and we're just going to bend our arms so that both elbows sit at the side of the chest here, kind of like a T-Rex, like T-Rex arms. Now that is going to allow us to rock our shoulders much easier, and it takes our hands and our wrists much more out of the putting stroke. Once you've got comfortable with this, you may feel that your wrist is much more passive, but there is one thing that can still be holding you back here. I see this incredibly often in golfers that I'm coaching. Everyone is too eager to watch the ball go in the hole. Everybody, as soon as they hit their putt, they're looking to see if the ball's in the hole before they've even hit it a lot of the time. Now, as you do this, when you look up to watch your ball go in the hole, your head rises, your chest rises, and we tend to allow the putter head to pass our hands. We get this sort of shape as the putter lifts up and rises. Now it makes it very hard to get wonderful centered strike in the center of the club face and to control where that club face is at impact. Basically, we're going to miss more putts. So I'm going to throw another drill at you here to help you get a great sensation for this. So we've worked on keeping this left wrist here very stable and our power coming from the rock of our shoulders rather than the whip of our wrist. But we want to sense that we keep down on it just a moment longer. We don't allow our head to lift up and look at the target. So I'm going to give you a coin. We're going to place it down on the ground and place the ball atop it. Now, all you have to do here is quite simple. I want you to hit your putt, and as soon as you hit it, I want you to keep your head looking down at the coin. So you're not going to look up to the hole, you're going to stare at the coin for just 1 second after impact. So practice swings first. I've got nice flexed elbows, I've lowered my chest so I'm down over it here, and I'm just going to rock my shoulders to move the putter. You'll see my wrists are very stable here. There is very little going on in this lead wrist. I'm going to pop the putter right behind the ball. I'm going to hit a putt here, and I'm just going to focus on keeping my head down to watch that coin just for a second. This is a tremendous way to help you deliver the club face into the ball consistently. So key takeaways. If we get too wristy and our club head passes our hands excessively, this can make it really hard to control the club face. We want to have much more stable wrists and putt using our rock of our shoulders as opposed to the flick of our wrists. To do this, we've got our ball inside our left wrist, between there and the top of our grip, to help stabilize that lead wrist. We've additionally want to sense that we hold our head down just a moment longer post-impact to allow us to deliver that club face consistently to the ball. And at setup, we're going to bring our chest down and flex our elbows a little more, trying to get our elbows on the side of our chest rather than hanging in front of them, to allow us to use our shoulders to rock the putter back and through. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. Thank you so much for watching. Check out the description for free coaching and training to lower your scores. And if you want to continue to improve your putting, check out this video and have an incredible day. Thank you so much.